Rich Froning has earned the title of Fittest Man in the World for 4 consecutive years. And he's the only competitor to ever accomplish that feat in the CrossFit Championships. But Rich will tell you his road to first started with a fall. Rich was raised in a large Catholic family and had 24 male cousins. In his family, competition was the name of the game.
There's a lot of boys in that group there, so there's a lot of testosterone at family get-togethers, and it was always a competition.
Religion was also a part of his family's tradition. While Rich believed in God, he says it never felt personal.
I knew religion from an early age. I prayed every night, but it was more of, what can you give me, God, and instead of, what can I do for you?
In college, Rich's love of sports and fitness led him to a degree in exercise science. In 2009, he discovered CrossFit.
Yeah, it changed completely how I was working out. You know, kind of went from the, muscle groups to actually doing, functional movements, lifting things off the ground, full range of motion pull-ups, that type of stuff.
Before long, Rich was hooked and decided to enter the CrossFit Open, a 5-week, 5-workout competition. In 2010, on his first attempt, Rich qualified for the national championships.
We show up that first day at sectionals, and I was like, looking at some of these giant guys, I was like, there's no chance that I'm gonna, even qualify. End up winning my region, and then went to the CrossFit Games. Goal there was to not get last place.
But Rich continued to dominate at the national level. By the end of the weekend, with one event left, Rich was in first place. His last event was a rope climb.
So I jumped up on the rope in the final event and went to try to pull, and I was like, oh, this isn't good. It's a little, my arms are shot. There's no, don't know what I'm doing with the legs. Guys are just flying up and down the rope. The guy that's in second at the time, Graham Holmberg, is just climbing the rope like it's nothing. Climbed the rope one time, hit the crossbar, started coming down, and then fell from the top.
His fall came as a crushing blow to his first place standing and his identity. Although he finished second overall, Rich left the games feeling defeated.
I'd made CrossFit an idol. It was, I'd let it define who I was as a person and put my self-worth into CrossFit. I didn't enjoy what I used to love to do, is work out. I hated it.
Looking for hope, Rich joined a Bible study called CrossFit Faith. After meeting one night, one of the members challenged his beliefs.
And we were riding home in the car, and he asked me a question. He said, if you were to die today, would you go to heaven? And I was like, of course I would. I've believed in God my whole life. And then I started really thinking about it, and I was like, am I living like, the stuff I'm reading, am I living like, we're called to live and put Christ first and to live for Christ? Maybe I'm not, living like I'm supposed to.
Rich started studying the Bible, and in May 2010, he rededicated his life to Jesus Christ and was baptized.
Everything that I was reading the New Testament was just, everything was applicable to, daily life. Trials and stuff I was going through, everything matched up. It was like, the living word. We talk about, the Bible's living, and it was cool to see that for the first time instead of just reading words on a page.
Rich says immediately all of his priorities changed.
My priorities went from, what can God do for me to what can I do for Him? How can I change people's lives? How can I lead people to Him?
In 2011, 12, 13, and 14, Rich entered the games again and walked away a champion of the CrossFit Games and a champion of the faith. He has written about his journey in an autobiography called First.
Galatians 6:14 is, may I never boast in anything except for the cross of the Lord Jesus Christ, which has been crucified to me and I to the world. And that's, it's whatever I do means nothing. It's not about me. The CrossFit Games, the four-time fittest man on earth, isn't about me. It's about Him and the talents that I've been given, and it's my way to glorify Him through what I do.